Whoa! Whoa! I did not see this one coming. Although apparently it has been rumored for a while that the Brewers were looking maybe to shop Josh Hader, I wouldn't have thought it was a great idea, especially since the Brewers are 3 games up in the National League Central. You wouldn't think they would shop their closer, one of the best left-handed relievers in the game right now. Would you? They did, though. To a shock, like one of the trades that definitely surprised me the most. The Brewers have traded Josh Hader to the San Diego Padres today. In return, the Brewers got Padres closer Taylor Rogers, as well as lefties Dinelson Lamet, pitching prospect Robert Gasser, and outfielder Estrelli Ruiz. I believe this is the name is. In a sense, the Brewers somewhat swapped closers. Very interesting move there. Of course, the reason behind this, it was definitely a shock. But the reason behind this trade, though, is very straightforward. Brewers, a smaller market team, trying to cut back on payroll. A little bit of like flexibility in the payroll there. Kind of like what happened whenever years ago when the Tigers traded Prince Fielder to the Rangers for Ian Kinsler. A little bit of flexibility there, but got a solid player in return. So Hader, $11 million salary figures jumped north to $15 million next season. The Brewers, though, may not be willing, being a budget-conscious club, may not be willing, though, to declare $15 to $17 million for one single reliever. They could have held on to Hader and maybe trade him in the offseason if this is the instinct, but they went with what they did now and got some prospects and another solid closer in return. Hader, though, is currently sitting on the worst season of his career. He's currently only 28 years old. He has a 4.24 ERA, though most of that, it was because he had that one outing where he staggered 9 earned runs in 1/3 of an inning. Ouch. Outside of that, he has an ERA of 1.87. He didn't allow a run actually this season until June 7th. And again, since his debut, besides, of course, probably Aroldis Chapman, he's been one of the most dangerous left-handed pitchers in the game, striking out 44.1% of the batters he has faced. Nor have they come close. The next person is Craig Kimbrell, actually, who's second with 40.6%. Hader's 2.48 ERA in that time is 8th best among 309 qualified relievers, and no one has topped off the 19.5% strikeout rate as well. Of course, now his former teammate, now current Brewers reliever Devin Williams, also is up there with those numbers as well. So with Taylor Rogers, you still could have a solid, reliever with him there. As far as, of course, Taylor Rogers goes, he was solid definitely in the Twins bullpen from 2018 to 2021. He dominated the earlier parts of the year. This season, pitched a .44 ERA with 23-4 strike to walk ratio through his first 20 1/3 innings. But since then, though, however, he has been getting clobbered with an 8.14 ERA in the next 21 innings. Of course, maybe a change of scenery could have been a change of pace for him, as this was going to be his first year with the Padres in general. Of course, also acquiring Lamet was also a big deal because in the shortened 2020 season, he was actually a Cy Young candidate as well, but went down with bicep injuries late that season and has missed a significant amount of time in 2021, so he's still trying to get his form back, for sure. We have both Gasser and Ruiz are also who are going to be great prospects as well. And, of course, again, the Padres just grabbing Musgrove on extension as well. really could, maybe they could grab another deal. I heard they're in the Juan Soto hunt as well. And they have a bunch of top-end prospects, such as Robert Hassel III, C.J. Abrams, Jackson Merrill, James Wood, Luis Campuzano, all, of course, who could be helped to try to get like a Juan Soto or a few other big names to add to their bat. But keep in mind, again, the Padres are great this year, but their injuries they have with their with some of their better players right now, like Will Myers has been hampered by injuries this year. Fernando Tatis Jr. has been out all season so far with a wrist injury. They could add like another like piece to that puzzle, make them even more dangerous. Imagine if some of those guys I mentioned were still active. How dangerous this Padres team would be. Like I said, adding Hader was definitely a big upgrade. I mean, Taylor Rogers wasn't doing great as closer, like similar numbers to Hader. But just in general, I think the Padres are looking really good. They're probably looking like some of the big winners so far this trade deadline. Besides the Yankees, of course. So yeah, we'll see how this closer swap goes as it creates a little more flexibility, of course, for the Brewers and their payroll. So we'll see what happens. So guys, what are your thoughts on Josh Hader surprisingly being traded to the Padres? And of course, the Brewers in return getting Padres closer and a couple other young upcoming pitchers and an outfielder as well. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirBryan3. Please stay tuned for more trade deadline news as we follow the trade deadline till 4 o'clock tomorrow, of course. I'm sure more big acquisitions are on its way. So until then, guys, I am checking out. I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your night, and peace out, everybody.